To begin with facing off, one of the most important things is your hand position. You want to have one hand as close to the plastic as you can, and the other hand should be shoulder width apart. So when you hold the stick out and you put your other hand down, it should be exactly shoulder width apart. I have a piece of tape that marks where I should put my hand so that way I don't have to think about it each time. Another very important thing is foot position. You want your right foot at a 45-degree angle to the ball and your left foot just over shoulder width apart. So that way it's not too wide because then you're off balance and you can't move, and it's not too narrow because then you're also off balance. So just over shoulder width apart, your right foot is at a 45-degree angle to the ball. When you go down, your legs should form a right angle. Again, it's power without sacrificing mobility. So when you go down, the stick head lines up directly with the ball. Your right foot has to be behind the plastic. Your hands are still in the same place. And your legs are at a right angle. The first basic move is a clamp. And the clamp has three parts: the actual clamp, the step, and the punch. And all are equally important. The first part that's very important is the clamp, and that's literally moving the stick head over the ball in a clamp. The second part that's important is stepping with your right foot to the head of your stick. The third and final part is punching with the butt end of your stick. It's very important that the butt end of the stick doesn't leave the ground. So in total, it looks like this. The bottom of the stick comes forward, your foot is at the head of your stick, and you've clamped over the ball. So, full speed, it looks like that. There are three parts to the clamp, and the reason why we clamp is obvious, but the step and the punch aren't always so obvious. The step is to prevent a fast break. So if Jordan were to try and pull out the ball out in front of me, if I don't step, it's pretty easy. However, if when we go down, I step, the ball rolls into my foot, and he can't pull it out. As for the punch, if neither of us punch, it's very easy to tie. However, if I punch, I wrap my stick around the ball, and I'm likely going to win. The final thing, once you've won the face-off, is where to put the ball. Ideally, you want it at a 45-degree angle in front of you or a 45-degree angle behind you. If it's too far out to either side, the wings can get it and it's just a ground ball battle. Or if it's directly in front of or behind you, it's a ground ball battle between you and the other face-off man. However, if it's out at a 45 in front of you or a 45 behind you, you have your body in between the other face-off guy and the ball. For example, if I pull the ball out behind me, the other face-off guy is already on my hip, and I can just go and scoop the ground ball. However, if I pull it behind me, the other face-off guy can easily go get it, and it's just a ground ball battle. If your opponent's clamping, it's good to use a top. For example, if Jordan goes to clamp, I top, and I can force his stick off the ball. Then I can easily scoot the ball back and pick it up. If your opponent is topping, it's easy to rake under. That also leads to a fast break. And finally, if your opponent is raking, it's very easy just to clamp and win the ball. Another mechanical issue is how to turn. Because the other face-off guy is to your right, once you've won the ball, it's very important to pivot off your right foot and behind you like this, as opposed to turning like this. The reason is if you turn off your right foot, you create a seal between the ball and the other man. However, if you open pivoting with your left foot, the other man can easily get the ball. common problem that arises when facing off is what happens when you tie. So say Jordan and I tie, alright? Here we are, and neither of us really have control of the ball. Now, if I punch again, I force the small part of my stick into the large part of his stick, and I wrap my stick around the ball. And then I have the ball and can easily pull it out. There are three basic moves when you're facing off: the clamp, the top, and the rake. The clamp is, as we just showed, like this. A top is where instead of clamping, you actually jump over the ball and into the opponent's stick. This forces them off the ball. A rake is where you use this part of your stick to flick the ball out. It's almost like a game of rock, paper, scissors. A clamp is effective against a rake, a top is effective against a clamp, and the rake is effective against the top. Once you have the mechanics down, the other half of the game is anticipation. If you aren't anticipating the whistle, you probably aren't going to win because you're going to be too slow. Anticipating the whistle means instead of waiting for the whistle to blow, you move with the whistle. So for example, if I were to wait for the whistle, the count would be approximately down, set, go. However, if I move with the whistle, it's closer to down, set, go. As you can see, moving with the whistle, you get to the ball a lot quicker and you're a lot more likely to win. It's also perfectly legal, so do it.